Hey, Kyle here. Additional video to my army videos where I show every individual unit of my army. Today I will be showing you my Space Marine Rhino. My only Rhino. Well, my first Rhino. But here it is. Now this Rhino here is probably one of my most surviving vehicles. Alongside like my Walker, which is technically a vehicle. They outsurvive all of my vehicles, period. Now, I put a hunter-killer missile on this guy, because he's more of a defensive unit other than an offensive. He's not offensive at all. He's pure defense. So, the big thing about this guy is he survives. He survives, purely survives. Does nothing else but survive and protect the ones inside, which was one of my tactical squads. So, you know. Now I do have a name for this guy, but I will explain that here in a minute of what his name is. Now, the main role that this tank has in the army that I have is he is a survivor. In my last game, he did just that. Now, it's just speechless how much this guy survived the last game. For about the 9-10 turns, this guy survived. At the end of the game, all there was immobilized. But all the other attacks, they were either weapon destroyed, which I had already used this. I just flip it around to the back, and that means I use it. That's been used. And just immobilize. Everything else, it was either shaken, stunned, or simply nothing. It just didn't punch through. But it survived the entire game, which is amazing. That's why I put the purity seals on here. And that's pretty much it. Now I do have a name for this. I've done some research, and I am a fan of Norse mythology, and I chose a name after a Norse god. The name that I've chosen for this is Vili. This tank's name is Vili. It's the brother of Ve and Odin, and I hate the phone. I'm sorry about the phone. There we go. I named this tank Vili, if that's the way it's pronounced. It's either Vili or Vili, but it's V-I-L-I. Now the way I'm gonna put my Alright, let me start again. My mind just, I started listening to myself talk. That's why I end up stuttering and not knowing what to say. But anyways, I'm naming this guy Vili, the brother of Ve and Odin. That's what in Norse mythology, that's what the name is. The name stands for will, which is the will to survive. Now I'm going to name all of my tanks, every single one of them, after a name in Norse mythology. Which kind of makes sense, because Space Marines have been said to have some references to Norse mythology. But anyways, the tank's name is Vili. I'm going to inscribe it with an X-Acto knife, as if it's been scratched in with a knife somewhere on the hull. And then put some wash on it to make it stand out, you know? But it's going to look like it's been scratched in. Maybe somewhere along the hull of the front. It'll say Vili, spelled V-I-L-I. There are other ways of pronouncing it, depending on what language you're translating it in. But the name stands for will. Now, considering this thing has the will to survive, I have put the bullet holes in the side, which I have shown you how to do in a earlier video, because I put a hole there. And there's a hole I filled in with glue there. I gotta sand that down and repaint it over a little bit. Then I gotta put wash over it first, or after I sand it down. Because it was just the hole I put in a little too deep when I was experimenting. and I filled it in. You can't really tell from a distance, but when you get really close, you can see that. I just got to sand it down, and then it'll be like it wasn't even there. But I don't have any green stuff on me, so I can't fix it myself. But anyways, I just put some bullet holes like it's been damaged. There's an odd hole there that goes in, sort of like it tore through the armor. But anyways, this is my Space Marine Rhino, aka Vili. I'll be doing a description of the name, maybe like somewhere on the wheel well, or somewhere where it wouldn't be seen, but if you sort of look at the details, it'll say, you know. But yeah, this is my #1 survivor in my army. There you go. Now the hunter-killer missile is just to take out large vehicles that are coming in close to me. And if there's units coming up, I can just disembark and then kill them. And then re-embark, and there you go. Now everything is modular, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Everything is modular. Even the hatch. So it can be reversible if you want to make it look a little different. Because in case I get a predator, I can take this back off, put the panel on here for the one with the hole, which it does come with, and I can just stick the turret on here without the sponsons if I want to save on points, but still have some heavy support. But anyways, this is my Space Marine Rhino. I'm going to end this video now. It's one of my worst paint jobs, but it survives, and I don't want to repaint it because it sort of takes away from it. Because, well, he's like an ugly duck who survives, you know. Something like that, I don't know. But I'm going to do an inscription on the wheel well that says Vili, the god of, well, I'm just going to say he's in Norse mythology. Vili is the brother of Ve and Odin. And the name means will. That's it. So this is Kyle X Pie 665 signing out.